Beyond 100, 500, 1,000 pumpkins lit their candles, which is to say brightened up their faces, showed fire in their square or round or curiously slanted eyes, flame guttered in their toothed mouths.
It's big, it's broad, it's broad, it's bright.
It fills the sky on a Hallow's night.
The strangest sight you've ever seen. The monster tree on Halloween.
The leaves have burned to gold and red. The grass is brown, the old year dead. But now the harvest fire see. The candle constellations on the Halloween tree. On the Halloween stars they turn, the candles burn.
And the ghostly scurry on the cold wind born.
And a mob of smiles shine down on thee from the gods hung high on the Halloween tree.
And the smile of the cat, the smile of the cat, the smile of the reaper taking his leave. Of dust and glitter from the Halloween tree. From the Halloween tree.
Halloween tree. Gosh. Hey, what kind of place is this? I mean, first the house, that man, and no treats, only tricks, and now I never saw a tree like this in my life. Like a Christmas tree, only bigger, and all those candles and pumpkins. What does it all mean? What's it celebrate?
Celebrate. Not treat, boys. No, not treat. Trick, boys. Trick. Trick! Yes, boys. That was the trick. Let me introduce myself. Moundshroud is the name. Carapus clavicle Moundshroud. Does that have a ring, boys?
Yeah.
A fine name. And a fine night. And all the deep, dark, wild, long history of Halloween waiting to swallow us whole.
Swallow us?
Yes! Lads, look at yourselves. What are you, boy, wearing that skull face? And you, boy, carrying a scythe? And you, lad, made up like a witch? And you! You don't know, do you? You just put on those faces and old mothball clothes and jump out. But you don't really know, do you?
Well, no.
Yeah, come to think of it, why am I wearing this ghost costume?
And me. This.
Then wouldn't it be fun for you to find out? I'll tell you. No, I'll show you. If only there was time.
It's only 6:30. Halloween hasn't even begun.
True. All right, lads. Come along. There. Do you see it, lads?
What?
The undiscovered country. Out there. Look long, look deep. Make a feast. The past, boys, the past. Oh, it's dark, yes, and full of nightmare. Everything that Halloween ever was lies buried there. Will you dig for bones, boys? Do you have the stuff? What is Halloween? How did it start? Where? Why? What for? Witches, cats, mummy, dust, haunts. It's all there in that country from which no one returns. Will you dive into the dark ocean, boys? Will you fly in the dark sky?
We'd like to, but... Pipkin. We've got to wait for Pipkin.
Yeah, Pipkin sent us to your place. We couldn't go without him.
Hey,
What?
here I am. Look, at the far edge of the ravine. It's Pipkin, carrying a lit pumpkin.
This way,
Pipkin,
Pipkin,
come
over here,
on, hurry,
quick.
hurry.
Come on,
let's go. Coming. I don't feel so good, but I had to come. Wait for me.
Where did he go?
There, running down in the middle of the ravine, on the path.
I see him.
Oh, wait. Please, wait. I don't feel well. I can't run. Can't.
Pipkin!
Oh,
The pumpkin he's carrying. The light went out. Oh. Light your pumpkin, Pip. Light it.
He's trying to. See, he's trying to.
Light your pumpkin.
Hurry, Pip.
Light it.
Light it.
Light it.
Light it.
oh, this is bad. I fear something has taken him away
Where? Where?
to the undiscovered country, the place I wanted to show you. But now,
You don't mean that thing in the ravine. It, or him, or whatever. That something was... Death? Did he grab Pipkin and... run?
borrowed is more like it. Perhaps hold him for ransom.
Can death do that?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh gosh. Pip. Tonight. Running so slow. So pale. Pip! You shouldn't have come out!
So, all the more reason for you to come along, lads. If we fly fast, maybe we can catch Pipkin. Grab his sweet Halloween corn candy soul. Bring him back, pop him in bed, toast him warm, save his breath. What say you, lads? Would you solve two mysteries in one? Search and seek for lost Pipkin, and solve Halloween, and in one fell dark blow.
Yes!
Come! Now quick, along this path. Up this rise. Along this road. The abandoned farm. Over the fence. Alley.
They left the fence running and stood by a barn that was frosted over with old circus posters, with banners battered by wind, pasted there 30, 40, 50 years back. Circuses passing through had left patches and swatches of themselves 10 inches thick.
A kite, boys. Build a kite. Quick.
The whole side of the barn was an ancient parade stopped dead. They tore it asunder, and with each tear that pulled off talon, tongue, or ravening feline eye, beneath waited layer upon layer of jungle nightmare. Delicious encounters with polar bears, panicked zebra, milling prides of lions, charging rhinos, clambering gorillas. 1,000 animals rumbled to be set free.
These old fence rails will make a kite cross, and we'll bound them with wire from the wire fence. Now, give me the kite paper. Fling them in fistfuls. I'll toss them in place upon the prey. Spark fitting. Use them together.
They had never seen such things, or known that men such as Moundshroud, with a pinch, a clutch, a pressure of fingers, might bend an eye with a tooth with a mouth with a feline bobcat tail. All mingled beautifully into a single thing, a wild jigsaw puzzle jungle zoo, billowed and trapped, pasted and tied, growing, taking color and sound and pattern in the light of the ascending moon. The boys ran up with the last frights handed over, and the kite finished, and ancient flesh laid out, a kite of destructions of animals, so dire and fierce, their outcry drowned the wind and murdered the heart.
Why, a pterodactyl!
A what?
Pterodactyl. Those ancient flying reptiles gone some billion years back and never seen again. Well said, boy. Pterodactyl it seems it is. And 'twill fly us downwind to perdition, or Land's End, or some other fine-sounding place. But now, rope, twine, string, quick, filch and carry.
They ran the rope off an old abandoned clothesline, strung between the barn and the abandoned farmhouse. He tied it to the middle of the vast kite. It struggled with wind to live. It flapped and floundered on the heaves of tidal air, laid down upon the grass. Moundshroud stood back.
Yes!
Gave a jerk,
There!
and lo, the kite flew. It hung low upon the air at the end of the clothesline, veering this way, dashing that, leaping up suddenly to confront them with a wall of eyes.
It won't rise. It won't go straight.
A tail! We need a tail!
But how?
Me! I'll grab the end of the kite.
Yes! Oh, lad, you are the one. Right, boy? You be the tail, and more, and more.
And as the kite slowly ascended the cold river of swift-flowing air, each boy in turn, seized with a whim, spurred by his wits, became more, and yet more of the tail. Which is to say that Henry Hank, disguised as a witch, grabbed Tom's ankles, and now the kite had two boys for its magnificent tail. And Ralph Bengstrom, wound up in his mummy clothes, stumbling over his winding tapes, smothered in his burial rags, shambled forward, jumped, and grabbed Henry Hank's ankles.
Wait, here I come.
And the beggar, who under his dirt and rags was really Fred Fryer,
Gotcha!
We need more lane.
I'm coming. Me too.
Sight, watch out for that sight.
I'll drop it.
the kite rose more, higher, higher, adding a boy and a boy until with a yell and shout, 8 boys with a magnificent flashing tail, the last 2 being Ghost, who was truly George Smith, and Wally Babb, who had made himself up to look like a gargoyle fallen off the top of a cathedral.
Don't wait, come on!
Moundshroud ran along the grass to seize the scythe. His cape fluttered, taking air, making wings until he also simply took off and soared. The boys hung down from the kite in a fine lizard's tail, now weaving, now looping, now snapping, now gliding. They rode across the moon. They soared over hills and meadows and farms. They saw themselves reflected in dusky, moon-bright streams, creeks, rivers. They brushed down over ancient trees. They flew over the town.
Look up! Here we are! Up here!
Oh, look up! Someone! See us! You'll never believe!
Look, Mr. Moundshroud.